We're excited to have you join us on Global Morning this beautiful day. It's a bright day. Of course, everything is pointing towards the season. The year is coming to an end, and people are running helter-skelter to do a balance. When I say balance, you know what I'm talking about. Do an assessment of how the year has been. Well, my name is Ramsey Enoch Agbo, and of course, I am here with Jumai Manson. It's good to have you on Global Morning, Jumai.
And it's great to be on Global Morning. The festivities around the corner. Everyone is busy. Companies are winding down, taking it slowly. End of the year party here and there. A lot of celebrations are happening. Everyone is excited, hoping that 2026 will bring a lot of good tidings. And, the celebration starts now. A lot of people have traveled. The roads are busy, car parks, the airport, everyone is busy. But for as much as we're preparing, remember to always remain calm and safe. And good morning to each and every one of us out there. I am Jumai Manson, and it's great to be here with my co-host, Ramsey Enoch Agbo.
Yes, it's good to be here with you too. I know. I'm not surprised at that because I know, your second name is Drama Queen.
I'm just hearing that
Well, I accept that. That introduction is massive. Now, you were talking about people traveling. Let's come to talk about it. Let's do a comparison between this year and last year.
Yes.
Last year, a lot of people couldn't travel, except if it was very necessary because of the subsidy removal.
True.
A cost of transportation was very high.
Extremely.
I heard that some persons even had to put money together, to charter a bus so they can put themselves inside, as many of them that can enter into the bus and travel by all means, for those who needed to travel by all means. But then I think Dangote has reduced the price of fuel.
Yes.
But then Nigerians are still waiting. See, it's one thing for Dangote to do the reduction, then it's another thing for the filling stations to implement it. We talked about this yesterday. And from that yesterday until now, I've been monitoring, and the media have been monitoring, because what we do is to bring to the fore whatever that's going on. Well, more like a bridge between the people and the society, the governance, people in government and all of that. But then, it's a welcome development,
it is.
All right, that the price of this commodity is reduced. But I will still keep saying, if there is no need, if you don't have any reason to travel, I don't see any point traveling, except if it is necessary. Some persons don't travel from January until December. And I could remember back in the days where this set of people go to do some kind of menial job, gather money until December, so they go travel, lavish the money, come again, start all over again. But then I think the good news is that I'm suspecting, though what Dangote did has not 100% reflected on the pump price of fuel as at today. But then I think it's a right move in the right direction.
Yes, it is. Yes, it is. And just to chip into what you've said, early on this year, how because of the removal of fuel subsidy, you saw how the price of fuel went up to 1,000 and something, and then it came down again, and it went down and to where we are. But still, the cost of transportation still remains the same. Still remains the same. Have you noticed?
Yes, it is.
And someone would tell you, like when you order for boat and you say, why is it 3,000 from here to, and you say, madam, you know how it is. People still hammer on the old. Nobody wants to implement the new. That's one. I'm talking about people traveling again. Now, you said the last time, because of the high cost of transportation the last time, that's why people couldn't travel. Now, people are not traveling. Most people will not travel except deemed necessary because the roads are not safe. One, and two, the airport now, 300,000 naira from here to Lagos, like per head, or two, it depends. And if you're lucky enough, you're smart, that booked earlier on, you get maybe 160, 170, 180. But now you can see the high cost of so many things. So individuals travel because it's a time to bond with family, loved ones, and friends. People from overseas will come home. Those want to spend time with their parents. But like you said, if it's not necessary, please do not travel. But it's a family routine for individuals who have not seen their parents for 11 months. So the 12th month is a time to come home, everyone coming together and all of that. But at the same time, we have to be cautious when we're doing things. It's very, very important. Scale of preference is key. We know what the economy is saying. Everyone is saying that Nigeria is happening to everyone. But at the same time, with God, everything is fine. But the thing is, do not travel except when it's necessary. And at the same time, think about it when you have to spend so much money. Remember, January is just there. Fees are there, house rent is there, all of these. As long as you want to enjoy yourself, think about
wisdom.
All of this. Wisdom.
This is the time.
To direct.
Wisdom is profitable to direct. Common sense is not common.
It's not common
because it's not common. Thank you for taking us back to our elementary economics.
Really,
scale of preference. That is choosing in order of priority, making your choice.
Exactly.
In their order of priority.
Funny enough,
prioritize this season.
It's very important. Like some people will go as far as going to borrow.
Oh my God.
Some people go as far as
because they want to travel.
Because you want to travel, because you want to make an impression. Like, hey, my peers are going to be there, so I have to, I cannot be left behind. But that's not it. Right from time, I've always believed in just be content in your own space, in your own right. It will save you a lot of stress. Like, I don't have to compete with you. Ramsey, hey, if you're shining, I'm happy for you. Hey, your time will come. So people need to understand that. People are put under so much pressure when it comes to festivity, when it comes to celebration. They're put under so much pressure. Hey, calm down. The world doesn't evolve around you. You're the one that is taking that upon yourself.
I'm thinking that things have changed compared to before.
You think?
That, I don't know, but I'm just thinking because people are wiser than those days. You see people running from pillar to pole because they want to get clothing, they want to wear a new hair, new shoes, new makeup for the ladies.
Okay.
New nails. New nails because that day they want to showcase. They go visit people that they want to impress.
Okay.
They snap pictures. Let's talk about social media a little bit. Social media deception. A lot of people these days, what you see on social media, you see a lot of people go, like you talk about borrowing, borrow to look sweet, look smart, so they can snap picture, use apps and make it look like, these people are in heaven on earth, not knowing that these same people are not what they've portrayed themselves to be. Then somebody at the other end is killing him or herself, wanting to be like these same people, and that has contributed to a lot of people going to borrow, going to take loan from apps online. And then at the end of the day, someone said something, gave a testimony that he wanted committing suicide or something, because he overborrowed on the app and they're on his neck and all of that. So why borrow in the first place?
Exactly.
Most of these apps, the way, the force, if they mean you, the way they send you messages, you even feel as if it's a grant.
Contact.
That's when you are owing. But if they want you to borrow, they will make it look very sweet, glamorous. Just like the banks. They don't tell you some of the hidden charges when they are pestering you to take loan. No, you need to take loan. You need to do this. They don't tell you the hidden charges until you've taken the loan. Then at the end of the day, it becomes very difficult, to pay back. Why do all of this? Because you want to please someone, which is not necessary in the first place.
But sometimes it's not about pleasing someone. It's all about pressure. When the individual is boxed to the corner, a lot of issues and he or she doesn't have.
That's a different ballgame.
Yeah,
I'm talking about people who borrow because, you talked about people trying to please
impress.
others, to
Oh,
impress
yes,
others.
yes, a lot of-
And so you said they go borrowing.
Of course.
So they are the ones I'm talking about.
okay.
No. Under normal circumstances, there are some situations that sometimes you don't have any option left.
Yeah.
The only lifeline left is
to borrow.
to talk to someone. If it doesn't work out,
Mm-hmm.
you go to borrow. But then there is no need borrowing when you don't have plans on ground, means of repayment.
Oh yes, and people do that a lot.
That's one which
when
a
you
lot
want
of people.
to, when you see that very beautiful girl that you want to impress, take out, you want to just go all out, but at the same time you have to think. You have to be very.
You need to be wise.
Yeah, very important.
You might have said wisdom is profitable to
Yes,
direct.
it is.
So be directed by wisdom. All right, let's quickly go on break. After this break, we'll return and the conversation continues.
Global Morning is your top morning show here on Global Television.
We bring you fresh news updates daily while delving into a variety of current affairs and topics.
And at the same time, keeping you well informed about important events, both national and internationals.
Global Morning serves as a valuable source of information, helping viewers like you start your day well informed.
Stay connected from Monday through Sunday to a wide range of latest news making rounds on Global Morning.
We're on the road to protest.
And the president meets all of our demands.
This is Global Morning.
Yeah, I'm ready. As a matter of fact, the issue of nomination of diplomats, the ambassadorial nominees and their confirmation is something that there was no need wasting time at all, because some persons are already saying it's even late as it is. This is something that the president would have done long ago, according to some people. But it's so good that in a major diplomatic move by the Senate, they've gone ahead to confirm some nominations. The confirmation is being done batch by batch. We heard of the recent ones where Oshomole and of course a senator had to exchange words because of some personalities. But then I think Lateef Are, Aminu Dalhatu and Emmanuel Oke also have been approved. They have been confirmed as non-career ambassadors. One thing is this. The question we should be asking is, why do we have these ambassadors? Is it necessary to have these ambassadors? If you ask me, I'll tell you yes. Because there are so many things, there are some places that the president doesn't need to go himself.
Exactly.
Because he has an eye there. That's one. Then, there is something we call diplomatic relations, which needs watering, which needs to be built. And who do all of this? The ambassadors.
Yes.
Even though some persons have argued that the cost of financing these ambassadors, these diplomats, is very, very high. Okay. But then, if it is necessary and it's something that other administrations have been doing, well, I think if there is no profit to it, if the country is not gaining anything from it, it wouldn't have been in place in the first place. But then, now that they've been screened, confirmed by the Senate, they need to hit the ground running. This is 2025.
Yes.
We get to 2026, then 2027. All right. Then there will be another election, probably. This administration returns or another administration. But the issue of changing people, all right, especially diplomats after every administration, questions the issue and the problem of continuity in Nigeria, this administration has done something very outstanding, which is allowing people from other political parties to work in their administration.
Which is good.
Even though a lot of people are questioning the ambassadorial nominees, but then we need this to be done. Some persons might be wondering, were these names actually on ground before the issue of country of a particular concern came, and the federal government saw needs to have these ambassadors in these various countries, or it was after the situation that these names, all right, came to bear? You know, these are situations, but then the confirmation, about how many of them, there are so much, so the confirmation is happening in batches. Now, as it is, can we now say that, number one, major assignment is to build the image of Nigeria on the global map? Because so much, you've heard of people complaining in the past that, oh, when I got to this country, the way they were checking my passport, as soon as they saw that I'm carrying a Nigerian passport, the scrutiny was something else.
Yes.
They, oh, wait here. Others were going, you were asked to wait here, because there was need for an extra check on you, probably because of how Nigeria has been painted and portrayed in that country. So what do you think about the confirmation of these nominees? 3 of them. These are career ambassadors anyway.
Of course. And for me, it's a step in the right direction. We need ambassadors. Like you said, we need individuals who will go out there and rebrand the image of Nigeria. Like you said, the president cannot be everywhere. There's some issues that it's too, how will I want to put it in a very layman's point of view. There are some issues that are too minute that you need the president's audience there. So these individuals are there to represent us and to promote Nigeria in a light of, you know, we are individuals who are intelligent, we have integrity, but these ambassadors need to understand what it means to have that ambassadorial mantle on them, because sometimes they do not even understand the roles in which they're supposed to play. I don't want to refer back to the I don't want to refer back to her, don't worry, but we all know, because some people say she didn't understand her role as a minister, then that's why all of these things happened and all of that. But I think they should be like a tutor for them to understand that, hey, this is your TOR, your terms of reference, what you are supposed to do. They need to understand the role. Because sometimes we are given appointments and we do not understand the role. I think they need to understand it. They need to be schooled on it so they will know that why. So there will not be any contention why they are ambassadors, why they are on that list, so that they will play their role actively and effectively. For me, ambassadors are important. You need them. It's important that they allow us to have various bilateral relations with other countries, with other individuals. There's so much we can do. Ambassadors coming together to just bring that relationship. So it's very important. It's very, very important. Diplomats, it's very important that we need them.
All right, it's very important and we need them, and the screening is already going on. So let's keep our fingers crossed as they are being screened and confirmed. We'll let you know. But then I want to take a bow now so that we can go on a quick break. After this break, coming up next will be inspirationals before we bring you the newspaper review for today. Stay with us.
Global Morning is your top morning show here on Global Television.
We bring you fresh news updates daily while delving into a variety of current affairs and topics.
And at the same time, keeping you well informed about important events, both national and internationals.
Global Morning serves as a valuable source of information, helping viewers like you start your day well informed.
Stay connected from Monday through Sunday to a wide range of latest news making rounds on Global Morning.
What's your problem? We're on the road to protest.
And the president meets all of our demands.
This is Global Morning.
It's another beautiful day, and I'm so excited to have you right here, where you can watch me from wherever you are, in Nigeria, in America, in Canada, in Europe, in Asia, everywhere, this very beautiful day. Today, I just want to encourage someone. What I do is to ensure and make you understand that the road to success is very broad, yeah? But then, so many persons are competing for the same thing that you are competing for. But you have everything that it takes to be the one who will achieve that success. On your journey of achieving success, so many things will happen on the way. But then, you are a destined successful man, successful woman. And you need to know this first of all before you get started. My name is Ramsey Enoch Agbo. Welcome to your success tip. You can start where you are. That's it. You can start where you are. Where you are does not matter. I tell people oftentimes that where you are at a particular time does not really matter, but what you do with where you are. There is this saying that as far as you can see, you can actually seize it. Now let's get to talk briefly about this all-important discussion today. What are you seeing? What's in front of you? What are the obstacles that you're seeing? The obstacles that you are seeing, are you seeing some success ahead of the obstacle? But people who are not scared of work, heavy duty, oftentimes they get to success easily. But sometimes they come dressed in form of work. But if you are the lazy type, if you are the type who doesn't want to do anything, just want success to come from heaven and just land on you, no. It doesn't happen that way. So what am I trying to establish? You need to start from where you are. Whatever you need to do. A lot of people are complaining every day. Some people complain more than the action. You're talking more, and there is less of action. How would you get to your destination? What you need to do as a young man, a young woman, irrespective of age, is to start from where you are. Let me tell you something about vision and accomplishment. There is a space, all right, between your vision and the period of accomplishment. Whatever that does not have a time it's not permitted to happen. Let me say that clear. Anything that does not have a timeline, that does not have a date, does not have the permission to come to fulfillment. So whatever you want to do from where you are, give it a date, give it a timeline, and pursue it. Write the vision, make it plain, pursue it, run after it, break it into bits. This is what I want to do. Some people don't even have their to-do list. And that's the reason a lot of people are confused today. Start where you are. Use what you have. Do what you can. That's the motto for today's discussion. All right? First of all, start where you are. Secondly, use what you have instead of complaining. Start with what you have. A lot of people are potential entrepreneurs. A lot of people are potential CEOs, but their visions have died on their inside because of limitation. And the worst limitation is that one that comes from your inside, the one you impose on yourself. And that's the reason I am being, I just feel like talking about people who are stagnated today. That stagnation that you're complaining of, that you are tying to your environment or maybe to the resources that you have, that's not where the problem is. The problem is because you have refused to start with the little that you have. Do what you can. do what you can. You can start alone, first of all, before you begin to have staff. Start it first. If you grow in a particular business to a particular point in time and you feel, all right, at this time, this is what I need to get to the other level, then I'm being limited by capital. You can meet one or two persons, share your idea with them, all right? And people can buy into your idea and sponsor your idea. Where you are now is not a limitation. The only thing that is the limitation is the fact that you have refused to start from where you are. You have refused to use what you have. You have refused to do what you can to push your vision forward. What am I trying to emphasize today? I want you to know that, let me ask something. How many dreams have died because someone was waiting for the perfect moment? There is nothing like the perfect time. The present time is the best time. If you had started that business yesterday, only God knows where you would have been now. That's your vision. I don't know why I'm talking about business today. It's like someone listening to me right now is supposed to start a business that the person has not started, maybe because the person feels there is no enough fund or there is no an enabling environment. I hear people complain all the time. We don't have an enabling environment no matter how the environment is. Get started first. All right? Things will fall into place. Some people say, I will start when I have the money. I will begin when I have the right equipment. I will take the first step when everything is in place. But no, it is beyond that. The truth is this: there will never be a perfect time. The perfect time is now. All right? The perfect time is when? It is now. According to Arthur Ashe, let me just give you this quote. The legendary tennis champion once said, start where you are, use what you have, and do what you can. That's what we're building on today. He didn't have the fanciest equipment. He didn't train in the best facilities, but he had willpower, what we call willpower. What you need to do, you need to have what we call the willpower and the courage to start with what you have. You see, greatness, as a matter of fact, doesn't wait for perfection. It grows through progress. It's a progressive thing. Use that old phone, your handset. Use those old materials that you have. All right? That quiet voice. Just follow what that voice is telling you. Because what you have right now is enough to begin. The seed doesn't complain about not being a tree. It just grows where it's been planted. And every big dream starts small. You see the tree growing gradually until it becomes a tree, becomes a forest, and people go there, all right, to make use of it. Every expert was once a beginner, and every victory begins with a step. So what are you waiting for? Just take that step today, and you will get to your destination. You will get to fulfillment. All you have to do is just to take that step first. Just make that move. Well, if you can, just take that one step. Send that email, make that call, write that post, record that video. You already started a chain reaction towards your future already without you knowing. Finally, before I let you go, I want you to know that you need to take an action. Don't wait for the stars to align. Move and they will follow you. Your dream is waiting on your courage, not on your comfort. Start now. When do you have to start? Start now. Start where you are, use what you have, and do what you can. And before you know it, you are already a talk of the town, a sought after, a success personified. And everyone, I told someone yesterday, I said, success have many brothers, but failure is an orphan. No one wants to identify with a failure. You will never be a failure. You are a successful man, you are a successful woman. Congratulations to you. This is where I will be stopping in this episode. My name is Ramsey. Once again, see you at the other side of success. Bye-bye.
Global Morning is your top morning show here on Global Television.
We bring you fresh news updates daily while delving into a variety of current affairs and topics.
And at the same time, keeping you well informed about important events, both national and internationals.
Global Morning serves as a valuable source of information, helping viewers like you start your day well informed.
Stay connected from Monday through Sunday to a wide range of latest news making rounds on Global Morning.
We're on the road to protest.
And the president meets all of our demands.
This is Global Morning.
All right, you're welcome back. And if you're just tuning in, this is Global Morning. And yes, this is the newspaper review segment. And I will start with the first paper of the day, and it's the Vanguard newspaper. And above the nameplate, it says CBN revokes licenses of ASO Savings Union Homes. And below that, it says Nigeria's 80% unemployment rate indictment on leadership. And that's the voice of Peter Obi, and that read you will find on page 8 of the Vanguard. Now, the star story on the Vanguard newspaper says workers facing worst survival crisis in Nigeria's history, and that's from NLC. And if you're wondering what that is all about, it's on page 5, and we have 2 riders to that story. And it says citizens being crushed by inflation, insecurity, and poor wages. Now, the second rider reads, Nigerians now spend 80% of income on food, and that is not far from the truth. And below that, at the side of the paper, it says, Falana to AGF, rearrest 10 soldiers, arraign 400 terror sponsors. And that's on page 6 of the Vanguard newspaper. Now, below that, it says, NBA, police disagree over tinted glass permit enforcement. And we have about 3 riders there. And it says police exhibiting troubling disregard for the rule of law. The second rider says, call IGP to order, NBA tells Tinubu. Now, the third rider says, no count, it says here, no count restrained. Why is this paper? No count restrained, it says, police from enforcing order. That's from the police headquarters, and that you will find on page 7. And here it says, Duke Ogumbi Media Titans grace Uncle Sam's art exhibition. And that you will find on page 10. Now, on page 8 of the Vanguard newspaper, it says, emergency rule, PDP, ADC differ with AGF over Supreme Court ruling. And next it says, the cabal made Buhari lock his room against me. And that's from Aisha. And we're wondering, which Aisha are they talking about? Is it Aisha Buhari?
Yeah, I saw in one of the papers
So we want to be
that
sure.
she's speaking out.
She's speaking out. Well, I do not know, but you have to go get yourself a copy of the Vanguard newspaper to be sure of which Aisha they're referring to. And at the same time, to be well abreast with all the news making rounds, go out and get yourself a copy of the Vanguard newspaper. And the next paper, over to you, Mr. Ramsey.
All right, let's quickly look at the next paper that we have right here, of course, which is the Nigerian Tribune. On the Nigerian Tribune newspaper this morning, we have a couple of headlines. And above the nameplate, I have this headline, of course, which says, NLC to hold a protest over rising insecurity today. We've had a lot of ups and downs as it has to do with insecurity in the country. But now NLC is saying they want to protest it. The president recently have been doing so much as it has to do with insecurity, the change of minister, service chiefs, and of course, instructions given for the recruitment of officers, men and officers. All right, that's there. Then this one says NBA slams pleas over tinted glass permit enforcement. Okay, NBA, that's the Nigerian Bar Association, slam pleas over tinted glass permit enforcement. The big story here says Dangote petitions ICPC, NMDPRA boss fires back. Well, that fight has been on, but then we're waiting for the authorities to get into it. The writers to that story, one of the writers says Dangote confirms readiness to provide evidence. How I funded my children's education in Switzerland, Farouk Ahmed responds, insists on thorough probe. All right. 2026, that's the kicker. The Senate cuts crude oil benchmark to $60, passes MTEF. A tax act, Dino Melaye threatened to sue NAS over VAT provisions. 2027, that's the kicker. PDP rallies ex-governors, ex-ministers. And of course, this one says how mafia relatives held Buhari captive, manipulated him. One writer to that story, for 8 years, he had wrong people in right places Aisha explaining that's the president's, the former president, late former president's wife. You know, he's no more. So we need to add that late former president's wife. Well, she has been in the news since yesterday, and so much has been said. But then if you want to get the details of what it's all about, pick a copy of the Nigerian Tribune.
You know what? What beats my eye is why are you coming out now? Why are you breaking your silence at about this time when he's let him rest in peace? Let's not start digging up old wounds and all of that.
I think that's true.
I don't understand.
So much happening in Nigeria.
Mercy after death. This is someone you were married to. Learn to just keep that private. It doesn't matter whether he made mistakes or not. We've moved past that. I don't understand. Why are you dragging us back? We have a lot of things we're thinking about.
Let's move on.
Let's move on, please.
All right, that's the size of the headlines from the Nigerian Tribune as we move to the next point of call.
All right, the next point of call is the Guardian newspaper, and it says here, below the nameplate, it says, downstream sector wobbles as corruption allegations escalate regulatory battle. And that read you will find on page 6. Now it says here, Trump places Nigeria, 14 others on partial restrictions to the United States. Okay, so we're now partial now. Thank God it's not. So we're becoming better little by little. All right, that you will find on page 2. And then now on page 4, it says, gas issues, 6 trillion naira debt, cripple power generation as discos record lower load profiles. Okay, and that's on page 4. Now, the start story on the Guardian newspaper says, anxiety, mistrust cloud Nigeria's tax reform promises benefits, and that's on page 6. If you're wondering what that is all about, you have to go get yourself a copy of the Guardian newspaper to be well abreast with that particular news, of course. And then below that on page 18, it says, Elumelu to chair Transcorp Hotels Board. And that's, of course, that's the business news on page 18. And basically, it says NHRC Clement for 422.942 abductions, sexual violence, others in November. Very sad there. And that you will find on page 6. NBA kicks against tinted glass enforcement, warns against extortion. I think I'm strongly behind that. And then you will find that on page 30. Go out to get yourself a copy and be well abreast. What do you think about this tinted glass issue when it comes to cars? I feel you can just check and move on. There are people that like their privacy, but I'm sure it's for the greater good of Nigeria when it comes to security issues. You want to be sure who's in the car. But if your tinted glass is factory fitted like some of us, what do we do?
If it's factory fitted, I think something needs to be done about it. It's either it's changed, or it's either you change it, or maybe there should be a special permit for that. And that's why they said tinted glass permit. There is a permit that you need to get. To have. All right, to have. Before, if you get it, you have it, then you can present it when you are accosted by the police for security reasons anyway. Maybe, but then, is that really
necessary?
I don't know. It's necessary because of the security situation. But then, a lot of people without tinted glasses have gone past checkpoints with exhibits in their boat, in their cars, times without number. If you want to research it, but then I think it's a move in the right direction because they are trying not to leave any stone unturned. So
how you said it, stone unturned. Let's move on. Let's move on now. Let's move on, please. Ignore me. All right. Okay. So next paper, please, Ramsey. All
right. Let's quickly look at the next paper. Gochuku Mobno is already warming up. All right. The next paper that we have right here is the Daily Independent. Can we quickly look at the Daily Independent? On the Daily Independent, we have a couple of headlines. Tinted glass permits enforcement. Lawyer slam pleas warn against contempt and lawlessness. ICPC gets Dangote's petition demanding arrest of NMDPRA CEO, one rider to that story, reps to probe dispute between Dangote and NMDPRA boss. I think that needs to be done ASAP, because when two elephants fight, the grass suffers.
Yes, it does.
All right, and now the big story, 2026-2028 MTEF FSP. Now the story says Senate okays 54.46 trillion naira spending plan, 17.88 trillion naira new borrowing. One right to that story, back oil benchmark of $60 barrel per day. And as a matter of fact, to shield whatever that is pending. And as a matter of fact, moving away from there, we also have festive food demand exposes structural fragility in Nigeria's agri sector. NDIC begins liquidation of ASO Savings Union homes. Reps to probe detention of Nigeria's aircraft NAV crew in Burkina Faso. ADC accuses Supreme Court of creating constitutional tyrant in president. Those are the headlines from the Daily Independent. Let's go on a quick break. After this break, we'll bring you social buzz. And after that, we'll get into the next conversation.
Global Morning is your top morning show here on Global Television.
We bring you fresh news updates daily while delving into a variety of current affairs and topics.
And at the same time, keeping you well informed about important events, both national and internationals.
Global Morning serves as a valuable source of information, helping viewers like you start your day well informed.
Stay connected from Monday through Sunday to a wide range of latest news making rounds on Global Morning.
We're on the road to protest.
And the president meets all of our demands.
This is Global Morning.
Global Morning is your top morning show here on Global Television.
We bring you fresh news updates daily while delving into a variety of current affairs and topics.
And at the same time, keeping you well informed about important events, both national and internationals.
Global Morning serves as a valuable source of information, helping viewers like you start your day well informed.
Stay connected from Monday through Sunday to a wide range of latest news making rounds on Global Morning.
We're on the road to protest.
And the president meets all of our demands.
This is Global Morning.
Very good evening and welcome to another exciting edition of Big Talk. Tonight on the program,
As always, it's a pleasure to have you join us here on Global Morning. I am Uyi Alpo.
You know how we do it on Social Post Extra, bringing you all the...
On the desk this evening, we have very topical issues to discuss, and of course,
welcome to your parliamentary program, The Parliament.
Peaceful and joyful home doesn't happen by chance. It is built on...
Women can rise beyond traditional boundaries to claim their rightful place as
a numerous committee, about more than 12 committees.
Festify is a program that comes to you once in a week at about this time, where we look into issues and discuss them. It gives you the opportunity to
rule news in United
Welcome
Nigeria.
to Entertainment Circle.
And trust me, today you're about to get entertained.
Hello everyone and welcome to the program Talk Sports here on Global Television.
Turn Up Zone is that platform where we bring young and talented artists.
What are you giving me?
Good morning to Global Morning Crew and good morning to you, our viewers. I am Ogoch Kumobno. It's a beautiful day to look at what's buzzing on social media. A lot, I must tell you, has been happening. You know, even though we are thinking it's the celebration period and everyone should be in the celebration mood, nobody is even getting happy. On social media, it is a lot going on there. Well, this morning we're looking at President Donald Trump on Tuesday, December 16, has signed a proclamation further restricting entry into the United States for nationals of countries identified as high risk due to what the White House described as persistent and severe deficiencies in screening, vetting, and information sharing that threatens national security and public safety. Among the 15 additional countries placed under partial entry restriction is Nigeria. The decision was announced in a fact sheet published on the White House website on December 16th, just yesterday, 2025, titled President Donald Trump further restrict and limit the entry of foreign nationals to protect the security of the United States. The White House said the move was aimed at strengthening national security through what it's called common sense restriction based on data. The proclamation maintains full entry restrictions on nationals from the original 12 countries previously listed under Proclamation 10949. These countries are Afghanistan, Burma, Chad, Republic of the Congo, Equatorial Guinea, Eritrea, Haiti, Iran, Libya, Somalia, Sudan, and Yemen. It also introduces full restrictions on 5 additional countries, namely Burkina Faso, Mali, Niger, South Sudan, and Syria, as well as individuals holding travel documents issued by the Palestinian authorities. Sierra Leone, Laos, which were previously under partial restrictions, have now been placed under full restrictions. Nationals of Burundi, Cuba, Togo, and Venezuela remain subject to partial restrictions. In addition, the proclamation imposes partial entry restrictions on 15 more countries. These include Angola, Antigua, and Barbuda, Benin, Cote d'Ivoire, Dominica, Gabon, the Gambia, Malawi, Mauritania, Nigeria, Senegal, Tanzania, Tonga, Zambia, and Zimbabwe. The fact sheet states that exemptions remain in place for lawful permanent residents, existing visa holders, certain visa categories such as athletes and diplomats, and individuals whose entry is deemed to serve United States national interest. Well, this is big. I'm more concerned about Nigeria, the country. Honestly, I don't think this is a good one for the country at this point. Neither is it a good one for the people of the country. You know, so many persons are actually concerned about this issue. So we are just going to take a few comments from social media as regards it. For the sake of our time, we actually picked just 2 comments. All right, the first comment is coming from Big Tupac, and Big Tupac says, "When I see what Dubai and Saudi Arabia is doing with the crude oil they have, I always wonder if what Nigeria have is palm oil, not crude oil." Okay, I think this is coming from a place of concern, because why would USA restrict the giant of Africa? Come on. Okay, even though it's partial, whatever it is too big for us. Second comment is coming from Glorious Official 77, and this person says, fix your country. I guess that's what she wants to say. Fix your country, invest in your citizens, learn from China. The world will respect you. All right, the third comment is coming from Bishop Without Diocese, and this person said, yet Pakistan, Iraq, and Lebanon are not on the list, let alone Tunisia, Algeria, and Egypt. Now, waiting fit Osha. All right, so that's you know, what we have for you today. But I'm not alone because we have to discuss about this. I have with me Jumai Mansing. Good morning, Jumai.
Good morning, Ogo. How are you doing today?
Very well, thank you.
Wow. You know, this is really big, really, because you know the thing is, someone was like, okay, we have been restricted, now we're on partial list, which means that things are getting better. But with the list of other countries that I'm seeing now, and those that were on partial restrictions now on full restrictions away from the US, I'm now scared.
What's going on?
I'm now scared what's going on, you know, but all in all, hope things get better. Like that comment that said we should learn from China, invest in our country, invest in the citizens. I think that's the way forward now, so that people can actually respect us as the giants of Africa, really, Ogo, because this is now concerning. You know, this is a cause to it's concerning, really. I would say.
You know, earlier when he stated that Nigeria is a state of particular concern, it was a big one for the country based on the fact that, you know, we're facing insecurity issues. Even at this point, we still have, although I see a bit of progress ever since from that statement, you know, issued by Donald Trump. There've been progress in security. We've not really heard about bandits again that much. And we've seen progress from the security operatives. They are putting things in place, and I must commend the Minister of Security, the new minister that was, you know, put in place, Musa, to help fight of this insecurity in the country. I must say that. Then coming to this other part of restriction, I just think about the business part. How is it going to affect Nigeria? How are we going to be affected? So many persons have business abroad in USA. Some persons abroad have businesses here in Nigeria. And getting to see this, it's not really a good one for, you know, business at all in Nigeria. It's going to really destroy our economy, you know, worse than it's already is. And I also like the comment where someone said, can we just learn from Dubai and some of these countries who have crude oil? What are we using our crude for? We fight people who are even trying to help us at this point, and it's not really good. We see Dangote go back and forth with the big
about
people.
Sabotage. Yes, exactly.
Very well. You know, we see him go back and forth with these big people in the oil industry, and you ask yourself, is it that we don't want help? Who are the ones fighting? People who intentionally want to help us. Honestly, we need to start looking at other resources, not just crude. Nigeria is really not just giant of Africa for mouth. It's not cho. We have other, you know, mineral resources that we can put in place and make sure that we are great, and definitely investors will start coming in again. We don't even have to seek permission from any other country or try to liaise. I understand that liaising with countries is a very good one for business, but they will come to ask you for, you know, cooperation. All right. So thank you so much once again, Jumai Mansing, for your contribution to this topic today. All right, that's all we have for you here on Global Morning with Social Buzz, and I am Ogotukumob. Now, please stay with us as Global Morning continues. Bye for now.
Global Morning is your top morning show here on Global Television.
We bring you fresh news updates daily while delving into a variety of current affairs and topics.
And at the same time, keeping you well informed about important events, both national and internationals.
Global Morning serves as a valuable source of information, helping viewers like you start your day well informed.
Stay connected from Monday through Sunday to a wide range of latest news making rounds on Global Morning.
We're on the road to protest.
The president meets all of our demands.
This is Global Morning.
A very good evening and welcome to another exciting edition of Big Talk. Tonight on the program.
As always, it's a pleasure to have you. Join us here on Global Morning. I am Uyi Alpo.
You know how we do it on Social Buzz Extra, bringing you all the...
On the desk this evening, we have very topical issues to discuss. And of course...
Welcome to your parliamentary program, The Parliament. For
Peaceful and joyful home doesn't happen by chance. It is built on...
Men can rise beyond traditional boundaries to claim their rightful place as...
Numerous committee, about more than 12 committees.
Festify is a program that comes to you once in a week at about this time where we look into issues and discuss them. It gives you the opportunity to...
World leaders in United
Welcome
Nigeria.
to Entertainment Circle. And trust me, today you're about to get entertained.
Hello everyone and welcome to the program Talk Sports here on Global Television.
Top Zone is that platform where we bring young and talented artists.
Stay tuned, stay inspired, stay with Global Television on DSTV Channel 365, on Star Times Channel 276.
Global Morning is your top morning show here on Global Television.
We bring you fresh news updates daily while delving into a variety of current affairs and topics.
And at the same time, keeping you well informed about important events, both national and internationals.
Global Morning serves as a valuable source of information, helping viewers like you start your day well informed.
Stay connected from Monday through Sunday to a wide range of latest news making rounds on Global Morning.
We're on the road to protest.
And the president meets all of our demands.
This is Global Morning. Monday through Sunday to a wide range of latest news making rounds on Global Morning.
We're on the road to protest.
And the president meets all of our demands.
This is Global Morning.
It's good to have you right there on Global Morning today. As it is, so many things that we need to talk about. But today, we want to look at the blue economy, we want to look at our shipping industry. You know, how is it faring? Where are we? Where are we heading? Are the challenges? Are the prospects? How has it contributed to the economy of this nation? How is it perceived, all right, by Nigerians? And of course, people at the diaspora generally. And I have someone who is going to be joining me today. You know, oftentimes a lot of people say so many things, and of course, without having a good knowledge of it. And that has necessitated this topic today, because one area that needs a lot of attention is the blue economy. Today, we'll be looking at the blue economy, the maritime sector, and of course, prospects and challenges in Nigeria. Have you ever thought about the shipping industry? You know, where have they been? How has it been? A lot of people talk about the airplane. Just recently, we heard about the airfare, how airfare is expensive, and how this and that is happening. But what about the blue economy? What about the shipping industry? How is it faring? Where are we? Where are we heading? All right. And today on the conversation, I have my guest who is going to be joining me in the person of Captain Caleb Danladi. He is a maritime expert. It's good to have you join us on the program today, sir.
Thank you very much for having me, and very good morning.
Thank you. Now let's get into the conversation, because a lot of people, when you talk about the blue economy, a lot of people don't have a very good understanding of it. When you talk about the shipping industry, a lot of people don't really have good knowledge of it. So let's get started by saying, can you describe the current state of the Nigerian shipping industry?
Okay, thank you very much for this question. I think before we describe the current state of the shipping industry in Nigeria, it's very important for people to understand the benefit of shipping to Nigerians. That's very important. So shipping, I would say, is the lifeline of global economy, because without shipping, it is impossible for you to import and export. Most of the vehicle we drive today, most of the clothes we wear today, they are direct impact of shipping. So shipping facilitates trade, which is very, very important. More than 90% of global trade is being moved by ship, which makes it more economical for transporting goods compared to other means of transportation. Another important aspect of shipping is the issue of job creation. There are a lot of jobs. It creates a lot of jobs when it comes to seafaring, port operations, port agencies, and there are also other indirect jobs that are being created in the field of, let's say, bunkering and fuel. Shipbuilding is very important. Then let's also look at the revenue generation. Shipping generates revenue through custom duties by paying freight services, ship registration, which is very, very important. And also there are also some induced impact. For instance, now, if you work in a port or if you work in the ship and you earn your salary, you spend your salary in goods and services. So you are contributing to the GDP of the country, which is very, very important and crucial. Let's also look at industrialization. Without shipping, it is impossible for you to have industries, because you have to move large quantity of goods in the same period of time. So shipping enables industrialization, and it also stimulates other industries. For instance, if you have a shipbuilding yard in Lagos, you are going to stimulate the steel industry in Nigeria, which is important. And what does it mean? You have a lot of Nigerians that will be employed when it comes to welding, fabrication, and also painting and other ship design. So that's some of the importance of shipping. Another important aspect of shipping is that it brings in development. If you have ports, or let's say in One, it brings in development because there are a lot of people that will be in One. A lot of people will build houses close to that port to be able to accommodate port workers, which is important. Another aspect that it promotes infrastructural development, because you need the road access to the port. You need rail access to the port. So that is the importance of shipping, to mention few. So back to your question now regarding the current state of shipping. So Nigeria is blessed. We have over 853 kilometers of coastline, and we are strategically located in the Gulf of Guinea, which makes us to be located along the major shipping route, which is very important. So Nigerian economy is also growing, which is important. And most of the import and export are through shipping. So let's look at the current trend. Let's look at what has happened from the early 90s till date. Let's look at the trends of the activities that has happened. First of all, there has been port concession. Previously, Nigerian ports were not performing well, and then the ports were concessioned to private terminal operators under the landlord port administrative model, which is important. So why do they concession the port? Is to drive performance, to improve service quality. And then after the concessioning, we have seen gradual improvement in port operations, because private investors have invested in equipment, they have modernized the port compared to what happened pre-concession period. Also, there has also been what we call Coastal and Inland Shipping Act, the Cabotage Act, which was enacted. And the idea is to promote indigenous participation of ship owners when it comes to shipping. And it makes sure that every ship that is being traded in Nigeria must be owned by Nigeria, must be built in Nigeria, and must be 100% crewed by Nigerians. That is another milestone that was achieved. Then there was a merger between JOMALIC, Joint Maritime Labour Industrial Council, and the former National Maritime Authority, which merged to become NIMASA today, to improve performance because they have overlapping duties. So that's another significant milestone that has happened in the shipping industry. There has also been the issue of Seafarers Development Plan, National Seafarers Development Plan, which was being undertaken by NIMASA to train seafarers when it comes to capacity development. Then thereafter, if you know, the blue economy was under the Ministry of Transport. So when this administration came on board, what they did is to be able to create a separate ministry called the Federal Ministry of Marine and Blue Economy from the Ministry of Transport, where it used to be a subunit, which is a good political way. It means that we can be able to harness into our blue economy, our resources, ocean resources. We have a lot of untapped resources. Then, after that, the creation of the Ministry of Marine and Blue Economy is a significant step in the right direction. Then, there's a national policy of marine and blue economy that has just been approved by the Federal Executive Council, which has a strategic 10-year roadmap to improve shipping operations in Nigeria to harness the marine and blue economy, which is very, very important. And most recently, Nigeria participated in the IMO Category C election, in which Nigerian government were elected. So we are elected into the council of IMO Category C. So we are among the 20 members that have special interest in maritime transportation and navigation, meaning that we are going to be sitting in the table where maritime laws, maritime decisions will be made. When there is a new convention, Nigeria is going to be there and is going to contribute, which is very important. Let's look at some issues that have happened. Even though there has been progress, there has also been some challenges. But let's look at the positive aspect I have mentioned. The most important one has to do with the issue of the Deep Blue project, which is crucial because Nigerian government invested in the Deep Blue project to curb the maritime insecurity in the Gulf of Guinea. Previously, there's issue of piracy, our waters are not safe. But after the Deep Blue project, we can see in the past 3 years, Nigerians have not recorded a single piracy issue. So that's progress. So let's also look at some challenges. There has been challenges. Challenges in such a way that we have some infrastructural deficit in the ports, which the government have also shown political will because recently they have invested multi-million dollars, and then I think it's in the process of tendering process now, which the aim is to modernize our ports to the state-of-the-art ports. Then there has also been some challenges of manpower shortage when it comes to seafaring. And I strongly believe that we need to invest more when it comes to seafaring, even though some efforts have been made when it comes to the National Seafarers Development Plan that was implemented by NIMASA. But we still need to train more cadets so that we don't have this shortage in the future. So generally now there has been a trend. What do I mean by that trend? The trend is we are moving more into the deep sea ports. Recently, the Lekki Deep Sea Port has been commissioned. And what does that mean? It means that larger vessels will be coming to Nigeria. It means that the turnaround time of the vessels will increase. And there are plans ongoing to have deep sea port in Ibom and also in Badagry. Then another current trend that's ongoing at the moment has to do with the issue of digitalization and automation. So there is a maritime single window system now that has been adopted and it will soon be launched. The idea is to streamline all services into a single window where you are not supposed to submit one document to custom, one document to immigration, one document to Port Health. Everything is going to be submitted in a single platform for all the government agencies to access, which is also very, very important. Then there's also a trend when it comes to decarbonization, climate change. There's an emphasis on reducing the carbon footprint, which I believe Nigeria is also a party to that. And plans are ongoing to ensure that the carbon footprint is reduced by 2050 as per IMO. Those are the current trends that are ongoing. And then most recently, like I mentioned, the election into the IMO category C.
All right. Well, that's to tell you, that's to say, well, Nigerians are getting to know this. That means the Nigerian shipping industry have gone a long way. It has come a long way. But now, how can you compare the Nigerian shipping industry with other West African countries? Where are we? Are we? Can we say, well, we are doing better, we are up to standard compared to other West African countries?
It's an important question. Compared to other West African countries, let me start with the maritime security.
Yeah.
So Nigerian investment in maritime security through the Deep Sea Blue project has resulted in zero piracy in West Africa.
The whole of West
Africa today, in Gulf of Guinea. So what does that mean now? It means that Nigeria are always on the forefront when it comes to policies implementation, and then when it comes to intelligence sharing and also surveillance. So Nigeria has done remarkably well. If you look at other parts of the world, there have been cases of piracy, but we have not reported a single piracy issue. So when it comes to maritime security, we are up there. Now, when it comes to the issue of manpower development, we are also doing our best. It's a challenge. It's a similar challenge the developing countries faced. So our election into IMO category C, what does that mean? It means that the 176 member states that participated in that election have seen something that Nigeria has to offer. It means that we are at the forefront when it comes to regional leadership. It means that Nigeria has shown political will. Even with the creation of the Ministry of Marine and Blue Economy from the Ministry of Transportation, it shows a political will because there are a lot of untapped resources when it comes to marine and blue economy, which I believe with the national policy on marine and blue economy, we are going to tap into those resources. That being said, there are also challenges. So when it comes to port, we are not doing bad, but when you compare, there are also other ports that perform better off than us, and there are ports that perform below us. But the most important thing now is we have shown the political will, and then we have allocated resources to ensure that our ports are being upgraded, our ports are being modernized, which is the most important thing now. Another issue has to do with the issue of infrastructural deficit, like the roads linking ports to final user, hinterland connectivity. I think there is a need for us to modernize some of the roads and also to utilize multimedia means of transportation, i.e. the train, the rail system, which is very, very important and crucial. But above all, Nigeria is doing well when it comes to maritime activities in the Gulf of Guinea. If you look at the election, in Africa, we have 3 countries that are elected into the council: Nigeria, Egypt, and South Africa. What does that tell you? It tells you that we are up there, we are doing well, which is very, very important because they believe in us. We have the policies in place, and the only thing now is the implementation and the monitoring and evaluation, which will make us to get to certain level. Because what we are looking now, we are looking at category B, which are countries that have the largest interest in international seaborne trade. They have the largest fleet, they have the largest, they move the largest seaborne trade, i.e. China, United Kingdom, and US. I believe we'll get there one day.
Wow. So from category C, we are trusting God to get to category B anytime soon. All right. A lot of Nigerians believe, like people abroad, if you're talking about shipping, they say, hey, come, when you're coming back, come with this, come with that. They'll tell you, cost of shipping, you know. So we need to look at that, because if there's any area the Nigerian people are very particular about is the cost of shipping goods, all right? Because it's just like maybe one of the best means, okay, of bringing goods from outside the country is through shipping. So a lot of them, if you tell them, hey, if you're coming back, come with this, most of the things they complain about is cost of shipping. And most times when goods come into Nigeria, you hear when you want to buy, when you want to patronize the people who sell, the retailers, the wholesalers, whoever they are, one thing they will tell you is, the cost of shipping. Then you talk about custom. That's why is this expensive. What do you have to say about that? Why is it that expensive, like Nigerians believe?
Okay, the cost of shipping in Nigeria is very, very high compared to other countries. And one of the reasons has to do with the infrastructural issues that we have. Some of the cargo handling equipments are obsolete, so it takes a long period of time to load and offload cargo, and that has an impact on the waiting time of the vessels and also the average dwell times of cargo import. And what does that mean? It means that all those costs will be transferred to the final consumer. Another issue has to do with multiplicity of government agencies in port. We have so many government agencies in port which have slowed down some of their clearing processes, which is also another challenge. If you also look at the congestion in and out of ports, and this congestion is not just a problem, it's a consequence as a result of something like inadequate road infrastructure, or we have some issues that have to do with obsolete cargo handling equipment. That's where you have congestion. You have a long queue of trucks going into port, and which take time. And then you have to pay a lot of demurrage. So on the average, the cost of clearing goods in Nigeria is extremely high compared to other countries, which I totally agree with you and with what a lot of Nigerians are saying. And that being said, let's be hopeful that the investment and the national policy of marine and blue economy is going to address most of these administrative bottlenecks, because it's as a result of infrastructural issues, administrative bottlenecks, multiplicity of government agencies. That is why we have this high cost of clearing cargoes. So I strongly believe that with the right investment, the right policies, the issue of high cost is going to be a theme of the past.
So in other words, you're trying to say the government have a major role, in quotes, to play in ensuring that this clearing and this high cost of shipping is reduced. Does the government have any role to play there?
Yes, the government have roles to play. That is why they have developed these national policies, and they have also invested in modernizing our ports, starting from Lagos and then to Onne and other ports. So what I heard now that they are on the process of procurement and tendering processes. So I believe that they have shown the political will now, and then the most important part is follow-up, monitoring and evaluation to ensure that whatever policies that is in place is being followed strictly. It's not only the government that have a key role to play, even the private sectors also have a crucial role to play. The private terminal operators also operate most of these terminals, so they need to upgrade most of their equipment to state-of-the-art equipment. The truck drivers also need to come up with modern trucks and not to bring in trucks that will break down on the roads and slow down cargoes going in and out of port and also disrupt the flow of traffic. So the issue of high cost is not about government alone. When you look at the trucks, some of these trucks are also old and obsolete, and because of the nature of the roads, they have problems and they break down. It takes time for cargoes to go in and out of ports, which is very, very important. And then also, we also have to look at the issue of maintenance culture. It's not about investing in the state-of-art equipment, but also looking about planned maintenance, predictive maintenance, to know when parts are due for change, to know when equipments are due for overhauling, and also to train operators who are conversant with this equipment so that we don't have breakdown of this equipment. Because when this cargo handling equipment break down, it has a ripple effect on loading and unloading of cargo. And what does that mean? It means that the average waiting time of the vessel in port is going to increase. And then you are going to pay more demurrage, which is important.
All right. Now, there is a belief, I don't know, should I say a menace or a cankerworm that has eaten deeply into the fabric of the nation, Nigeria as a country, and that is corruption. Because if you ask an average Nigerian, they will tell you, which sector will you not find corruption? Which sector? So what is the rate of corruption? Because I'm not saying there is corruption in the shipping or in the blue economy, but then how is the issue of corruption like in the blue economy, the shipping industry? Do we have it or we don't have it?
Okay, you know, I'm more of an expert in operations. So when it comes to that corruption aspect, I think it has to do with more with the legal people. So it's not something that I would love to discuss because I have to talk with facts. So when you ask me something, and then I believe the Transparency International have more data there for you to.
So you are exonerating indirectly.
I'm not exonerating, but I have to talk with facts sometimes. So maybe if you ask me about human resource or how chemicals work, I won't have that kind of answer because I'm not specialized in that.
Let me tell you the reason why I asked this question. There is a belief that people who work in that sector, number one, are very specialized, very professional, people of integrity. And there's a way people look at captains, people who work in that industry. I'm not talking about the artisans and the rest. I'm talking about the professional. That's the reason I had to ask that question. Because some people, if you ask some people today, they will tell you, no. Do those people even have time? They do their things professionally. You know, they are always mixed up with the whites, so they behave like the white. Just like I was telling someone.
When it comes to the professionalism, yes, in seafaring, there's a high level of professionalism and discipline. And then there are rules and there are ethical principles that guide seafarers. When it comes to seafarers, I'm talking on seafarers' perspective now.
Yes.
There are ethical principles. So, ethical principle, you have to work based on ethics. The company have established certain rules. There are different rules when it comes to company. There are anti-bribery and corruption rules. There are rules that have to do with drug and alcohol policies. So you have to follow those rules and regulations for whatever companies. Most of the captains and the seafarers in the industry, they don't work for one particular company. So they work for different companies. There are multiple companies. So when you ask about that, you will talk based on your own perception and what you have observed in the past. And then for me, I believe I have integrity and I will not be involved in things like this. And there are people I can speak on. But when it comes to seafaring is a very specialized profession. Seafarers have integrity and there are a lot of ethical principles that guide seafaring career. And if you look at the news, you don't have negative perspective when it comes to
That's the reason I'm asking the question, because you hardly hear, even in the media, you hardly hear of those acclaimed corruption cases from that sector, especially when it comes to the captains, the seafarers, and the rest. Now, let's talk about this. Our time is fast coming to an end. But now, a lot of people want to be in this sector, especially when it comes to the area of seafarers, the area of captain. What does it take? Because I'm asking this because there are various Nigerian youths who are aspiring, to be where you are today, an expert, maritime expert, a captain and all of that. And of course, more so that there is a way the sector is being perceived. So what does it take?
That's an important question. And first of all, I have something to say. It is rewarding to master the sea trade. Why do I say so? Because we need more people when it comes to seafaring profession. Particularly, we want to encourage more female participation because we have a low number of females. Then, back to your question regarding what does it take. I will go through step by step. We have different departments when it comes to seafaring on board the ship. We have the deck department, that's the navigation department. They plan passages from one port to the other. They take care of the cargo. They also ensure the safety of the vessels. They take care of safety equipment of the vessels and also safe passage of the vessels. We also have the engine department. They deal with propulsion. They make sure that the engines are working perfectly. They deal with all the generators. They produce the fresh water, and also they ensure that the propulsion of the ships is adequate. We also have the electrical department that deals with most of the electrical and instrumentation on board the ship. We also have a department called the catering department. The catering department, they ensure they provide hotel services, basically.
Captain, I love that department.
Yes, yeah. They provide hotel services that have to do with food, water. They ensure that the accommodation is clean and important. So, in the deck department, for the officer level, the entry level is cadet. You start from what we call deck cadet. Then the requirement to be a deck cadet, we have schools that you can attend here in Nigeria. We have the Maritime Academy of Nigeria, Oron. We have the Federal School of Oceanography in Lagos. We have other maritime institutions that you will go there for a national diploma in nautical science for a period of 2 years. Thereafter, you proceed for a mandatory sea service, meaning you are going to be on board a ship to learn about navigation, cargo operation, chart work, stability, navigation, and also meteorology, which is very important. And after that, you need to return back to the college. When you return back to the college, you will sit for an exam called Certificate of Competency, STCW 95. So when you pass your Certificate of Competency, you now have a license. Then you will return back on board the ship and start working as a third officer. After some years, you'll be promoted to second officer. But from second officer to chief officer, you also need a higher license, which is called Chief Officer Certificate of Competency. So you need to return back to college after minimum of 18 months sea service. That means you have gained more than 18 months sea service. You return to the college for a period of about 6 months and also sit for that Chief Mate Certificate of Competency. It comprises of written and oral examination. And the written examination has to do with navigation, stability, and chart work. Then you have oral examination that you talk about rules of the road. Then after that, you return back to sea and work as chief officer. Then you gain sea service of about 18 months again. Then you return back to the school for another license called Master Mariner. So the Master Mariner license, that's a license that enables you to be a captain of the ship. That is for deck. But the entry requirement for the cadet is 5 credits, including English and Maths. Now, for the engine, is also 5 credits, including English and Maths. You start with engine cadet, then you go back to school again to study. You write your Certificate of Competency, pass, move to 4th engineer, 3rd engineer, 2nd engineer, and chief engineer.
Wow.
Now, for the electrical, we have electrical cadets as well now. So the entry requirement is also 5 credits, including English and Maths. You also start from trainee electrician and you move all to electrician trainee. You move to ETU and you become electrician officer on board the ship. For the catering department, they have different rounds. They have messmen, they have second cook, they have chief cook and chief steward. Then you also have to look, we also have support staff like the rating that support in operations. And those support staff, for instance, we have the deck, we have the bosun, we have the able-bodied seamen, and also we have the cleaners that assist. In the engine room, we have wipers, we have oilers that also assist, which is very important. But also them, their entry requirement is different from the officer cadre.
Okay, that's the question I wanted to ask.
Yes, they have a different entry requirement because they require a formal education, they require the basic safety training to be conversant with safety at sea, and also they require an on-the-job training, but they don't require certificate of competencies. They don't require to go in and out of college. But gradually, as the world is evolving, a lot of ratings have now understand their space, and they are aspiring to become captain. And we have ratings who have taken upon themselves to go back to the college and then sit for certificate of competency and then grow through the rank to become captain, and some also through the rank to become chief engineers. We also have specialized ships that have some specialized department, like if you are sailing on the liquefied natural gas ships, you have what we call the cargo department, the cargo engineer. So he deals basically with cargo, because basically you are transporting cargo at a very, very low temperature of minus 160 degrees centigrade, and you are generating boil off. So he's in charge of all the compressors, the vaporizers. And that cargo engineer, he is also an engineering officer with certificate of competency. He's either a third engineer, that will be gas engineer, or a second engineer, that will be cargo engineer.
Oh, this is educational.
Yes.
This is educational. Oh, my, I think I love
But
this.
above all, very important is discipline.
Discipline.
And life, career at sea, you must be disciplined. That's why you mentioned that you have not had captains in any form of scandal,
Yes,
because we are disciplined. We are really disciplined. For you to work at sea, you must be disciplined. You have a watch to keep from 4 to 8 in the morning. You have to be there at least 15 minutes. So you must be time conscious. You must be.
You know, I was telling a colleague, I said, oh, this my guest calling me at 8 a.m. now. Our appointment is for 8:30. And we're like, I was like, maybe because most of the times he's out there, you know, so his exposure is different from the average Nigerian African
And there are standing rules and regulation guiding. There's what we call the Merchant Navy Code of Conduct that guide. It has to do with discipline. That is why most seafarers are disciplined. There is also a lot of rules that guide seafarers. When you are at sea, you have to comply with collision regulation, international regulation for the prevention of collision at sea. It's not that you just decide to see, a ship is coming there, you call him on the radio, give me way to pass. No, there are rules and regulation. We know what to do when a ship is coming from the port side or from the starboard side. We know which ship is a giveaway vessel, which ship is a stand-on vessel, which ship. So if you are not disciplined, you will decide to say, I'm the giveaway vessel, I will stand on. And what will happen? It will lead to catastrophe. It will lead to collision. So it's very important for seafarers to be disciplined. And then you are up there at sea for a period of 10, 15, 20 days. There's nobody, no hospital, no family. So you have to be disciplined.
The experience is something else. The experience is no wonder. Well, I think the experience is worth it. This is more like an educational and, of course, eye-opening for a lot of Nigerian youths. If not until now, a lot of people wouldn't know all of this qualification and all of that. But then, before I finally let you go, because our time is almost up, what do you think, as someone who is an expert, what do you think the Nigerian government, private sectors, individuals need to do, to support? What kind of support do you think these people need? Because you just talked about 20 days away from family, from friends and all of that, all on the sea. And how has it been? How has it been for those of you who are far away like that? The cooperation, from people who you are supposed to originally associate with, relatives and loved ones.
Well, for them on board the ship, you have communication. So there are internet that you communicate with family. But when I first started my career, there was no internet then, but we have what we call Immerse at Sea, where we write letters and they connect it every day. And then my family also write letters for me and address it to the managing office. So when we get to certain ports, the agent will bring the letters and we get to hear from families. We also have Immersat phones, then where you can communicate with your family. But nowadays, with technology, you can use WhatsApp on the ship, you can use FaceTime on the ship, you can use Facebook, you can link up with everybody. The world is now a global village. So it's very, very important. Above all, the most important aspect is about mental health, which is another issue when it comes to seafaring. So it's very important for you to stay in touch. It's very important for you to have social gatherings. So there's always been some avenue of social gathering to reduce this idea of loneliness, which is very, very important. And then even though there are some one or two, or there are a few issues of mental health, but there are organizations such as Mission to Seafarers. They are there to provide support. There are some hotlines that you'll be able to call when you are being bullied or when you have issues, when you have challenges that are bothering you. There are also procedures when somebody is grieved and you want to inform that particular person. There are procedures that you need to follow. You don't just come and tell that person, oh, I'm sorry, you lost your dad in the middle of nowhere. There are certain procedures that are ways so that you can provide him with that kind of support. Then, back to your other question about what must the government do. The government has done a lot when it comes to marine and blue economy now in the country, because this is the first time we have the Ministry of Marine and Blue Economy. The most important thing is for the government to sustain the momentum, to ensure that all the policies are being strictly adhered to ensure that there is a proper monitoring and evaluation plan. Because sometimes when you have these policies on ground, without following up, you don't evaluate them, they are hardly being complied. But I strongly believe that the 10-year plan on marine and blue economy policy is going to address most of these issues. Then, for the private sectors, they also have a key role to play. When it comes to manpower development and capacity development, I think they need to support the young cadets by providing them adequate bed space for sea time so that they can progress in their career. And then they need to come up and partner with government. There's an increasing trend of private-public partnership in the shipping industry today, so that the government alone cannot do, so that they can develop most of the port infrastructure and superstructure, which is very, very important. And for the port workers and seafarers themselves, the important part is for them to stay focused, for them to stay disciplined, for them to keep maintaining a good name, so that whenever they go, they will say, oh, this is a Nigerian seafarer, this is a Nigerian port worker, this seafarer is disciplined, this seafarer is hardworking, because discipline and hardworking pays. And they should continue to upgrade themselves with education. The world is changing. So as the world is moving from the paper-based to digital, they also have to adopt digitalization so that they can keep up with the global trend.
With all of this, I'm just wondering, with all of this, how are you combining your business schedule? How are you combining it with the Caleb Foundation? You know, how are you combining all of this? Your foundation just won an award.
Yes.
How are you able to put all of this? This is going smoothly. The foundation is going smoothly. How are you able to combine this in just a minute or two?
Okay, the most important part is we have a vision, and we have our target groups. We have our own employees and volunteers. Delegation of roles is very, very important. Every member of our team have a sense of ownership, and we work as a team. We collaborate, and that gives us successful results. Even if I'm not there, we already have a succession plan. If I'm out today, like now I'm not doing my non-governmental organization job, somebody is already there responding to the mails. So delegation of roles is very, very important, and every member of the team feels important. Above all, it's very, very important for us to exhibit sign of leadership to ensure that everybody is being carried along. You don't micromanage everybody, which is very, very important. And by the collection of our volunteers and our employees, we have been able to win so many awards. We have been able to reach out to so many people in rural areas. And very important, before I go, we want to encourage parents to ensure that their children participate in STEM, because that's the future. You asked me about what are the requirements to be a seafarer. So STEM, science, technology, engineering, and mathematics is a key, is a core. We need to start these children at an early age so that they can get more exposure. So there are a lot of STEM boot camp, robotics camp. Part of my mandate in my NGO is to promote STEM among rural children, especially among girls, so that this girl will have an idea of career ahead of them. so that by the time they are about getting to universities, they know what to do. They already have the basic knowledge of coding. Today, JAMB is no longer paper-based, it's computer-based. If you are not digitally literate, it means that you cannot sit for JAMB exams. And WAEC will soon roll out digital exams. So we need to train the younger generation when it comes to STEM.
All right. Thank you very much. Congratulations once again for winning the Award of Excellence as the most impactful NGO in 2025, the Caleb Foundation. And thank you also for this knowledge that you've passed across. All right, this is going to be the size of the conversation right here, Blue Economy, and of course, what are the challenges, the way forward, how it has been, and how you can actually become a captain or a seafarer and maybe belong to that sector too. We'll go on a quick break. After this break, we will return for the second conversation.
Global Morning is your top morning show here on Global Television.
We bring you fresh news updates daily while delving into a variety of current affairs and topics.
And at the same time, keeping you well informed about important events, both national and internationals.
Global Morning serves as a valuable source of information, helping viewers like you start your day well informed.
Stay connected from Monday through Sunday to a wide range of latest news making rounds on Global Morning.
We're on the road to protest.
The president meets all of our demands.
This is Global Morning.
Very good evening and welcome to another exciting edition of Big Talk. Tonight on the program.
As always, it's a pleasure to have you. Join us here on Global Morning. I am Uyi Alpo.
You know how we do it on Teacher Buzz Extra, bringing you all the...
On the desk this evening, we have very topical issues to discuss. And of course...
Welcome to your parliamentary program, The Parliament.
Peaceful and joyful home doesn't happen by chance. It is built on...
Women can rise beyond traditional boundaries to claim their rightful place as
a numerous committee, about more than 12 committees.
Festify is a program that comes to you once in a week at about this time where we look into issues and discuss them. It gives you the opportunity to
world news in United
Welcome
Nigeria.
to Entertainment Circle. And trust me, today you're about to get entertained.
Hello everyone and welcome to the program Talk Sports here on Global Television.
Top Zone is that platform where we bring young and talented artists.
Stay tuned, stay inspired, stay with Global Television on DSTV Channel 365, on Star Times Channel 276.
Global Morning is your top morning show here on Global Television.
We bring you fresh news updates daily while delving into a variety of current affairs and topics.
And at the same time, keeping you well informed about important events, both national and internationals.
Global Morning serves as a valuable source of information, helping viewers like you start your day well informed.
Stay connected from Monday through Sunday to a wide range of latest news making rounds on Global Morning.
We're on the road to protest.
The president meets all of our demands.
This is Global Morning.
Very good evening and welcome to another exciting edition of Big Talk. Tonight on the program.
As always, it's a pleasure to have you. Join us here on Global Morning. I am Uyi Alpo.
You know how we do it on Social Post Extra, bringing you all the...
On the desk this evening, we have very topical issues to discuss. And of course...
Welcome to your parliamentary program, The Parliament.
Peaceful and joyful home doesn't happen by chance. It is built on...
Women can rise beyond traditional boundaries to claim their rightful place as
a numerous committee, about more than 12 committees.
Festify is a program that comes to you once in a week at about this time where we look into issues and discuss them. It gives you the opportunity to
rule years in United
Welcome
Nigeria.
to Entertainment Circle. And trust me, today you're about to get entertained.
Hello everyone and welcome to the program Talk Sports here on Global Television.
Talk Zone is that platform where we bring young and talented artists.
Stay tuned, stay inspired, stay with Global Television on DSTV Channel 365, on Star Times Channel 276.
All right, it's still Global Morning on Global Television, and this is the second discuss of the day. We're going to be looking at a very, well, will I say, a very sensitive part of this topic today. It's going to be interesting because I have a guest here with me. I won't let the cat out of the bag, but let me just go into the intro of this particular topic, talking about Nigeria's culture, creative industries, and of course, tourism. Now, this offers a powerful pathway for economic diversification. Beyond oil, sectors such as film, that's Nollywood, music, Afrobeats, fashion, arts, heritage, festivals, and tourism, attractions have strong potential to generate revenue, create millions of jobs, especially for youth. You heard me, the youth, and boost national GDP. Now, with supportive government policies, we can say this can actually improve infrastructure, investment, and, of course, global promotion. Now, these sectors could contribute significantly up to tens of billions of dollars to the economy. Now, beyond economic gains, culture and creativity also strengthen national identity, enhance Nigerians' global image, and increase soft power. Now, in essence, in all of this, by strategically investing in culture, creativity, and tourism, Nigeria can unlock sustainable growth, employment, and global competitiveness. Now, to throw more light on this, I have a very special guest in the studio with me. He is Chuks Akamadu. He is an intellectual property lawyer, cultural scholar, and tourism expert. He is the managing director of Afroculture Limited, an organization focused on integrating culture and tourism into African economies. Now, with Nigeria as a leading example, he is a fellow and member of several professional bodies, and he's chartered in marketing, public relations, and management. Good morning, Barrister Chuks Akamadu. How are you doing today?
I'm good, Jubai. Good morning. I'm pleased to be here today again.
Yeah, it's always a pleasure to have you. Now, let's delve into this matter. Now, how can culture, creativity, and tourism drive economic diversification in Nigeria? beyond oil? Because we seem to look at oil as a factor of development, sustainability, and all of that. So how can we use that when it comes to culture, tourism, and all of that encompass?
Well, I honestly think that the cultural tourism sector is an area we have competitive edge and comparative advantage in. So I think we've been doing ourselves a disservice not to fully harness the potential therein. As we speak today, that sector employs a whole lot of people and has the potential to do much more than it's doing if government should consider it to be a priority. In fact, let me even share with you, we just concluded the maiden edition of the Africa Tourism and Creative Economy Expo, which Nigeria hosted last month. And what was it all about?
Tell us.
Good. It was about how poorly Africa is competing on the global stage. As we speak with you today, Africa contributes less than 3% to global trade. Africa takes home 5% of global tourism revenue that is estimated at 11 trillion US dollars. Why are we doing like this? It is understandable that some advanced countries like China, US, and all of them, they are doing better when it comes to exportation of goods.
Very true.
But when it comes to services, under which culture and tourism fall, that is where we have comparative advantage. So why don't we leverage our vast tourism and cultural assets, endowments, to reposition ourselves? And we keep talking about economic diversification. This is a low-hanging fruit. Low-hanging fruit in the sense that it is an environment where the skilled, semi-skilled, and the unskilled can participate actively. And it's gender-friendly too. We have 1,000,001 cultural and tourism assets in this country, and they are lying dormant. And we are busy going all over the country, cap in hand, asking for foreign aid, asking for a what we call development partners to come into the country and support us in one way or another. Why would we? In fact, I consider it to be voluntary lack or voluntary poverty. That's what we suffer in this part of the world. Because now, I tell you how bad the situation is. We must give President Olusegun Obasanjo credit for identifying the economic potential in tourism when he organized the Presidential Council on Tourism in 2005. And by the next step in 2006, he gave us a national tourism master plan. But Jumai, this is 2025, 20 years after. That document hasn't been reviewed.
Because, I think, Chuks Akamadu, for instance, people feel that oil has more leverage when it comes to tourism.
No, you can't say that. I will tell you.
Because...
No.
Okay.
Primary economics would always tell you to hold on to that which is a renewable resource. Oil and gas is one sector that is not a renewable resource. One day Nigeria can run out of gas supply, gas deposit, and oil deposit under the belly of Niger Delta. But culture, tourism, there are things that they are renewable, will live with us for as long as this earth remaineth.
But for as long, before it gets to that point, God forbid, but of course, the amount in which it generates, not just here in Nigeria, but offshores. So if people put all their whole weight on oil compared to tourism, don't you think
Nobody is saying that we should abandon oil and gas.
I understand.
We're saying that we cannot have the economic potential, the abundant economic potential we have in culture and tourism, and we decide to leave it lie dormant. Who does that? And I'm telling you, the oil and gas proceeds that you are talking about, how come it hasn't given us El Dorado since 1956? The oil and gas proceeds, we are still struggling. We're still a struggling economy. And we are simply saying that, yes, nobody's saying we should leave out oil and gas. Okay,
of course.
I will give you an instance.
At least a balance.
Good, and now I'll give you an instance. How come a country rich in oil and gas like United Arab Emirates is mainstreaming its tourism industry into its economy as though there is no oil and gas at all.
Because he has something to show.
Oh, God bless you. We do have more than they do.
If we say we do, why is it not portrayed as much as you are in this sector? So what is happening? So let's look at what politics and investments are needed to transform Nigeria's cultural and creative assets into sustainable economic value, Mr. Chips.
Okay, you see, everything has to do with leadership. The orientation of the leadership has to change. The attitude of the leadership towards the cultural tourism ecosystem has to change. First, our leaders must agree to relocate our cultural tourism sector from the realm of leisure to the realm of business. We need to first see it as business, because it does appear that we still consider culture and tourism to be a matter that should be left in the world in the domain of leisure. That is foremost. Like I said, a country like UAE, do you know that only recently UAE had to merge their tourism ministry and their economy ministry? UAE now has Ministry of Economy and Tourism. Why? Because they understand that tourism is a major economic frontier. They understand that tourism could actually be a major pillar holding the UAE economy. That's why they merged it. Good. When you have that understanding, and then you look at the inherent potential in it, then you begin to prioritize it. It's when you prioritize it that you will now begin to formulate policies that will reflect your aspirations as a leadership. Come on, Jumai. The national culture for national policy for culture in Nigeria is dated 1988. It's actually a military legacy. How can you now grow the culture industry by having a policy that is dated 1988? It simply shows we are not serious. It simply shows that we do not think that culture is actually a pathway to economic diversification. Do you understand what I'm saying?
Yes, I do.
So that has to change first.
Our orientation has to change.
The orientation has to change. And they're looking at tourism. I've just mentioned the National Tourism Master Plan. It's dated 2005. And this is 20 years after. And nobody has looked at it and said, come on, let us update it so that it could reflect the realities of the time. So it says when we have a leadership that considers cultural tourism as a potential tool for economic diversification, economic growth, development, and massive job creation, that you can now begin to talk about what policies, what infrastructure do we need to put in place so as to ensure that this sector grows sustainably.
But I want to ask you something. Why do you think we are so laid back when it comes to culture and tourism in Nigeria? For instance, let's delve into Obudu Cattle Ranch. You know, when that particular ranch came up about for tourist attraction. But right now, as we speak, I have visited Obudu Cattle Ranch. It's nothing to write home about. You see all of these things just laying there, no upgrade. It's why is it so? Because we don't have visionary leadership in this part of the world, Jumai. We don't have visionary leadership. It's just like when you talk about Obudu Cattle Ranch, it again is a sad reminder to what Tinapa has become. Oh yes, in the same Cross River State. Oh my goodness. We had a Donald Duke who was a I was going to mention Donald Duke. Yes. I mean, the quality of his thought was up there. It was. Unfortunately, those who succeeded him in office did not run with that vision because they lack the capacity Tinapa to see beyond something really big. Imagine Tinapa. Big. No. Imagine Tinapa being complemented by Calabar Carnival and Obudu Cattle Ranch. It would have been something. In fact, massive. I had occasion to propose to my governor several years back, and I said, come on,
Tinapa is there. We have Obudukato Ranch, and then Calabar Carnival is flourishing. That it would be good for Abia State, since the only slave route east of the Niger is in Arochukwu. And from Arochukwu, you can actually cross a stream and find yourself in Cross River State.
Really?
And then I said, why don't we open up a tourism corridor along that way so that we can enjoy the traffic that comes for Calabar Carnival every Christmas? When they are done with Calabar Carnival, they would be naturally attracted to see that slave route in the southeast, from which our colonial masters took away our fathers to wherever they took them to, and all of that. But it's only when you have an understanding that you could actually make money from this that you can do all of this. If you don't have that orientation, why would you think outside of the box when most of the governors are waiting for FAC meeting in Abuja to come and share money and go back to their state capitals?
I like the fact you said FAC meeting. But
they love FAC meeting. Oh yes, that's where they gather to share money, to share the oil money you are talking about.
Exactly.
When you actually have cultural and tourism assets in your respective states that you can develop to absorb a whole lot of youth. In fact, you're talking about winning the war on insurgency in this country. Culture and tourism is a veritable tool. It's a non-kinetic way of.
But Chooks, don't you think that's a major factor why we are not in all of this when it comes to tourism? Because of terrorism, and of course security issues. When you talk about infrastructure.
Jumai, first, there is no young person that is gainfully employed that leads a quality life that would abandon their jobs and head for the forest to bear arms against the state.
But
there is a nexus between a struggling economy and the rising wave of violent crime and criminality in Nigeria. Not just in Nigeria, but everywhere else. I'm not making excuses for criminals. They should be treated as such and dealt with. But I am saying that the leadership also has a responsibility to disincentivize crime and criminality by providing jobs for their teeming youths. If we had done this before now, I am sure the level of crime and criminality we have in this country wouldn't be what we are witnessing.
Well, put it at the back of your mind that sometimes these criminals that we're talking about, these terrorists, are not our youths. These are machineries from other countries.
Why are you talking like
but
this?
But I'm just trying to make a statement.
No. Oh, yes. In the first place, in my place, they say,
English.
Good. It is the rat at home, it's the home rat that went and informed the other rat from the bush that there is fish in the kitchen that we can feast on. Come on, these foreigners that have come to exacerbate our security concerns, we are embraced by people. They were embraced by our own people. We started it before they came in. If we didn't start it, they wouldn't have come in. They wouldn't have had a place to operate from. Yes. So we actually need to find a way of looking ourselves in the mirror and accepting some home truths. We have failed as a people to provide as much opportunities as possible for our teeming youths of this country. That way, they would have been proud to belong to this society. They would have been proud, they would have been glad that they have enormous opportunity to do what? To dwell here, thrive here, and then be useful to themselves and their families.
Okay. I'm sure most people want to ask these questions, Mr. Chooks. Now, how can intellectual property, for instance, protection when it comes to straightening Nigerians' creative economy and encourage innovation and, of course, investment?
Piracy, thankfully, I have had on the street experience. On the street experience way back in 2004, when I served as National Secretary of Performing Musicians Association of Nigeria. Yes, when Charlie Boy was national president, I was P-Man National Scribe.
Oh, okay.
And the fight against piracy was on the front burner then.
Yes,
He was very passionate. You have to give it to Charlie. And we took steps to voice out our frustration, because by the time you steal the intellectual right of an artist, what you're doing is to mock creativity. So it is one area that government has to also up their game. Government has to step up their games to ensure that the proprietary rights of artists are protected. That way you will be growing economy. That way you'll be promoting creativity. And that way you will also be forcing those who are involved in such illicit businesses to look elsewhere for survival and yes, for survival.
Talking about, when it comes to PMAN, you spoke about that. I know the film industry and all of that. Now, how can the creative industry, that's the film now, when it comes to fashion, music, arts, digital content, be better supported to create jobs and increase exports?
Firstly, Nigeria unfortunately suffers from paucity of data. Truth of the matter is that we can see our artists doing well, we can see Nollywood doing well, we can see, but the truth of the matter is that we don't have day-by-day data bank of how well this sector is faring. It becomes very difficult for you to do any strategic planning if you don't have data on your palms. So firstly, I think that the government should prioritize gathering of data so that we can actually, from time to time, audit our performance in that sector with a view to designing implementable strategies that will enable it grow sustainably and, of course, absorb as many of our youths as possible. We are doing fairly well in music, but I'm saying that sector remains largely unregulated. And the fact that we don't have data to work with is a major hindrance, looking at it from a long-term point of view.
All right, Chukwuemeka Amadu, I want you to look into that camera and speak to someone who is in authority that can actually look at the tourism aspect when it comes to culture and make the best out of it, not looking at oil alone, the way forward right now.
Well, my position will be this. Apart from agriculture, culture, tourism, and the creative industries remain the highest employer of labor in this country today, not oil and gas. And if you want to grow our economy, I think that given our comparative advantage and competitive edge in that sector, that we should prioritize it. When we prioritize the culture, tourism, and the creative industry, we would have commenced the business of investing in the future of this country. We have the assets, we have the potential, we have everything that should really make us thrive. Then when we prioritize it, another thing that I would want us to look at will be the issues of policies that will drive it. Good policies that will naturally invite the private sector for them to come into it with a view to making money. When we have the right policies in place, the next thing I think should be on capacity building. We need to train and retrain cultural administrators, tourism experts, and all of that to ensure that we compete favorably on the global stage.
Culture, creativity, tourism, unlocking Nigeria's economic potential. Well, I think we're going to look into that, and I'm sure someone is listening to find a way to make this happen. Now, thank you so much, Chuks Akamadu, for being a part of Global Morning. And of course, Chuks Akamadu is an intellectual property lawyer, cultural scholar, and tourism expert. He is the managing director of Afroculture Limited, an organization that focuses on integrating culture and tourism into African economics, with Nigeria as a leading example. Now, he is a fellow and member of several professional bodies, and he is chartered in marketing, public relations, and management. Thank you so much for being a part of Global Morning, Mr. Chuks. It's always a pleasure having you.
My pleasure to be here again. Thanks for inviting me.
You are most welcome. And at about this time, we'll be wrapping it up on the program Global Morning. Do not go anywhere. Stay tuned.
Global Morning is your top morning show here on Global Television.
We bring you fresh news updates daily while delving into a variety of current affairs and topics.
And at the same time, keeping you well informed about important events, both national and internationals.
Global Morning serves as a valuable source of information, helping viewers like you start your day well informed.
Stay connected from Monday through Sunday to a wide range of latest news making rounds on Global Morning.
We're on the road to protest.
The president meets all of our demands.
This is Global Morning.
A very good evening and welcome to another exciting edition of Big Talk. Tonight on the program.
As always, it's a pleasure to have you. Join us here on Global Morning. I am Uyi Alpo.
You know how we do it on Social Post Extra, bringing you all the...
On the desk this evening, we have very topical issues to discuss. And of course...
Welcome to your parliamentary program, The Parliament.
Peaceful and joyful home doesn't happen by chance. It is built on...
Men can rise beyond traditional boundaries to claim their rightful place as...
Numerous committee, about more than 12 committees.
Festify is a program that comes to you once in a week at about this time, where we look into issues and discuss them. It gives you the opportunity to...
Rural news in United
Welcome
Nigeria.
to Entertainment Circle. And trust me, today you're about to get entertained.
Hello everyone and welcome to the program Talk Sports here on Global Television.
Talk Zone is that platform where we bring young and talented artists.
Stay tuned, stay inspired, stay with Global Television on DSTV Channel 365, on Star Times Channel 276.
Global Morning is your top morning show here on Global Television.
We bring you fresh news updates daily while delving into a variety of current affairs and topics.
And at the same time, keeping you well informed about important events, both national and internationals.
Global Morning serves as a valuable source of information, helping viewers like you start your day well. Many thanks for staying with us on Global Morning today. Well, we can't finish all of this conversation in just one sitting, but I'd like to let you know that every headline from the newspaper is that of the newspaper house. We do not have editorial contribution to those headlines. And of course, the view of our guest is entirely theirs and not that of Global Television. Many thanks for staying with us on Global Morning today. My name is Ramsey Enoch Agbo. And
of course, I am Jumai Manson. Thank you all so much for being a part of the program. And of course, keep watching Global Television. Have an amazing day ahead. Bye-bye.